Welcome to Dare a New Belief, a place to discover what is possible for your life after the loss of a loved one, and where you will find inspiration, insight, support, and love, and hopefully a bit of laughter to help you through the day. Now here's your host, Nada Hogan.
Welcome to Dare a New Belief, where you will find light and life, love and joy, healing, faith, and hope. A place where you get to believe in what is possible for your life. And today I have the great honor and privilege to invite you into the 100th episode. We have done 100 episodes on Dare a New Belief podcast. And I have had the great honor and privilege to be with people who literally are changing the world. But first I want to talk about how the name even came about. 5 years prior to starting the podcast, I had been thinking I wanted to do a podcast. I wanted to share people's stories. I love people and I love their stories and I love hearing their triumphs because I truly believe as soon as we see somebody else doing the impossible, we can do it too. That's all we need is that one role model and our entire life can change. And that's what the podcast was about, allowing people to come to a place to heal and to find inspiration. But I didn't know what to name it. My beautiful daughter dropped in out of the blue and said, call it Dare a New Belief, in honor of her and her name, Dare a. It was profound to be able to say her name every single day. And people knew when I said Dare a New Belief podcast that I was saying my daughter's name every time. Now, the guests that were on the podcast that changed my life and changed the direction of where I'm going right now were these beautiful, miraculous, remarkable women and men who had overcome incest and molestation, addictions, and anxiety, crippling anxiety. They were women and men who had dealt with not knowing what the next step was in their life, and they were stagnant and stuck. They were guests who had laid down on a mountaintop on a hilltop as a young man, a young boy, and got to talk to God, and it changed his life. I got to be with women who went through postpartum anxiety that was crippling for her and her belief in what she was going to be able to do with the rest of her life and with her children. I got to be with women who know all about sacred parenting and sacred grandparenting. I got to talk with women who are in their 70s and starting new businesses. I got to be with men who are in their 80s and are still hiking around the mountains of Arizona. Oh my God, this world, it's vast and beautiful and offers us opportunities every single day. And this is why I made the decision for this to be the 100th episode of Dare a New Belief and to call it, at least for this moment, Put Dare a New Belief to Sleep. For a little bit, we'll revisit it in 2022. But at this moment, it's going to go to sleep. And I'm going to lean into some other projects that have my heart. This world offers us opportunities. And if we can see them and catch them, and if we can use them to better ourselves and better others and better the world, my goodness, I can't think of anything better to do with our time that's on this earth. And I learned so much from the people that were on my show that now I want to take the information, the golden nuggets, the wisdom that they shared, and to use it into a program that I have that's called Daily Dare. Again, I get to say my daughter's name. And the Daily Dare is all about being able to be challenged one time a day, sometimes with a little task, sometimes with a big action step. And an action step's a better word for it, with having one small action step or having a bigger action step. Because if I wouldn't have followed my own advice and did the things that I did after the passing of my daughter, Dara, my life would have been for naught, at least as far as I could see. And when I knew that there was this force and this power and this energy that we are all connected to, which I also got to learn on my podcast, I grabbed a hold of that and I started moving forward as fast as I could and sharing it with as many people as I could share it with. So the daily Dara experience is signing up at a very minimal fee to be able to have an email that shows up Monday through Friday that encourages you, that gently nudges you, gently challenges you to do something. And then to come back and share it in a dedicated space where only the people who are on the daily Dara experience program get to see what the responses are. And I'm telling you, the responses to these are deep and they're personal and they're intimate. And they are supported by the other people in the group. And of course, I love supporting all of this because nothing brings me greater joy and pleasure than seeing people live their life completely, 100% on purpose and making the best out of whatever situation we find ourselves in. Along with doing the daily Dara experience, I also am starting microneedling. One of the things that I noticed for myself after the loss of my daughter, that I didn't look on the outside like I felt on the inside as I was getting better, because stress and worry and grief takes a toll on the body. And it takes a toll on the first thing everybody sees, and it's our face, and especially our eyes, because the eyes are the window to the soul. So I decided that I wanted to start increasing the work that I do with acupuncture by incorporating cosmetic acupuncture and microneedling. And it's not about erasing lines of life that have happened. We have these beautiful lifelines, and I won't erase many of my lifelines. When I first learned how to ride a Harley, it was the biggest accomplishment I had ever made in my entire life, next to having my 2 kids. I would not get rid of one of those sunspots that I received from riding that Harley and all of these beautiful different places. I wouldn't erase any of the laugh lines and the smile lines that I have from my daughter and from my son. And I absolutely wouldn't erase all of the lines that remind me I did suffer a tremendous loss. And through that tremendous loss, I have been able to move forward and to help other people shift and change and learn to walk with that tremendous loss that they experienced in their life. Microneedling and cosmetic acupuncture isn't about making you fake or phony, but it is enhancing the outside of our body to reflect what's happening on the inside of our body. This is our one true and only go-round in this life. And I think we should do it as empowered and living out loud as much as we can. And then I think we should turn up the volume on that. I'm grateful for the listeners that shared Dare a New Belief podcast. I'm grateful for all of the guests that came on and shared their time and their heart and their soul and their stories. And I'm grateful that I got to share and they got to share how through their tragedies or traumas, they were able to move forward in their life and learn to walk side by side with that, not dismissing it, not forgetting about it, but allowing that to be a catalyst to help and teach others how they can do the same thing. Because really we are in this together, all of us. And the more we can help one another, the better this world, it has to be. How can it not? We help each other, we make enormous changes in the world. Thank you for being here with me and with us for the podcast. And of course, if we start up again in the new year of 2022, you will be the first to know. But for the time being, we're going to use our energy and our time, and we're going to focus on the daily Dara experience, where you can receive emails in your mailbox Monday through Friday, giving you support, giving you inspiration, allowing you to take the step that you think you can't take, or to take the step that you think isn't going to make a difference in your life. And I promise and guarantee that every single step that you take has a profound effect on your life and where you end up at the very last day of your life. And of course, adding in microneedling and cosmetic acupuncture, so the outside beauty of us can truly reflect everything that is happening on the inside. Because microneedling and cosmetic acupuncture isn't just about doing a facelift or sticking Botox in the face to plump it up and make it look better. It's treating the whole person. Microneedling and cosmetic acupuncture treats mind, body, spirit, and breath. We treat it all. So as a full package, when you walk out of the treatment room, you know something shifted and changed in your life. And when you look in the mirror, you have a beautiful reflection of that looking right back at you. Thank you again for being with us, and I look forward to seeing you in the Daily Dara experience and sharing your triumphs and your discoveries and your wins and your successes. And I hope to see you, if you are in the Minneapolis area, with microneedling and with cosmetic acupuncture, so the world can see your beauty radiating out. Thank you again. It's been my deepest pleasure and my deepest honor, and I'm grateful for this time with you.